What's up, people? Good morning, afternoon, evening, depending on where you are. I'm going to be streaming this for the Steam blockchain. I was trying to do a D2, but it didn't really pan out for me. So let's do this instead. Just share them this link. A little post going too. Shame, I tried like Google Chrome, Mozilla, IE, of all things. No joy. All right, hold on. Oh, let's see, it's busy. So I guess, yeah, y'all folks in YouTube land, if you don't know what Steam is, it's a social media blockchain platform. All right, so let's get this little, I already got a draft going. This is me bullshitting around this morning. I got a little bit of work to do with development projects and such. So that's what I'll be up to. And also I got my breakfast right here that's been sitting going cold because I couldn't get this live stream going quickly. That's all right. Bear with me. Windows. All right, so what were my tags? Oh yeah, breakfast. Tex-Mex. Food. Log. Never done one of these things before. Well, you know, I kind of did with my projects, do some like Snagit stuff. Those that don't know, Snagit's kind of screen recording utility. So, yep. Kind of document my work with what I'm doing with Python. All right, so the deal is today is I got my Barbacoa and Big Red. If you're from San Antonio, you know what's up with that. And I decided, I went to the Walgreens and they had a Mountain Dew Code Red. So I'm gonna kind of try one and try the other and kind of give my my review as to what is more complementary. So maybe a Mountain Dew Code Red might be the new thing. I don't know. I'm gonna find out until I try it. And so, yeah, for you in YouTube land, it's kind of my post body. I'll go ahead and read it off. If you're a San Antonio local, you probably heard of the combo of Barbacoa and Big Red. And by the way, I'm not a pro at this. I'm trying to learn, get more, get better. Maybe throw in some like, wanted to use the OBS software and kind of figure out how I can throw some like memes and GIFs and, you know, just little shit like that. All right, so they're a complementary pair. Today, going to try something different, see how my taste buds dig it. By the way, not sure how many people know, but I'm half Mexican by blood. Now, let me post this and then people can follow along. So let me get that, share this. Okay, because of issues. YouTube have opted for YouTube this time. what can you expect? Yeah, this shit is going to be disorganized and chaotic. Because I don't have like a template I follow. I just kind of go straight off the dome. I'll probably keep this going till I get the itis from this barbacoa. Oh, now it's got some menudo. All right. I'm not gonna like my own post because that's sketchy. That's one of the hot button topics on Steam, the self-voting. It's basically you create your content and you vote it up, and if you have like a lot of stake, a lot of money invested in a platform, you kind of get your posts above other people that may not have as much, even though their posts may be like reflective of a lot of effort and all that. So it's controversial. I don't really self-vote. Okay. So let's go with the 50-50 option for payout. So there's you got Steam on the platform and SBD, Steam-based dollars, which is supposed to be the pegged asset. It's supposed to be pegged to $1, but the mechanism is kind of broken. I guess kind of, yeah, that's euphemistic. It's broken. It's broke as hell. All right. Make sure this is all good. All right, let's do this. Post. And send it out to Twitter land. How's that link? I don't know if I'm gonna get a lot of support on this one. So one of my friends, there's kind of a flag war thing brewing, and so flagging is like the way to remove rewards from a post. Say someone's like posting up some plagiarism, other things like that. Someone with stake can be like, hell no, let me flag that, get that shit out of here. It's kind of the idea. I'm not like a marketer, social media person. I don't know what freaking tags to use, but let's go with Steam, San Antonio, Barbacoa, red, extra, better. I'm hungry, man. My wife's giving me grief about letting my food get cold. All right. Let stream go. Share it on the Facebooks. Google Plus, even though that place is dead. It's for me. I kind of wanted to have a different snap in here. Guess that would have been in the advanced options. Bummer. Okay. Honey, could you bring me the code red? So this is from Mike's Taco Factory. Wife hooked it up with some cheese and tomatoes, cilantro and onion. All right. First up, the Big Red. Boy, this looks good. It's cold. Still delicious. I already know what to expect there. Gonna be like one of those food connoisseurs that I gotta get the taste from the last thing. They do that with wine, or I don't know what I'm talking about. This is Code Red. Damn, it's good. At Barbacoa, it's cheek meat, if I remember correctly. Places usually serve it on the weekends. It's damn good. Which one's better? To be honest, it's a Big Red all the way. Code Red, it's not doing it. Alrighty. All right, that's good. So, if there's a way I can share the screen on YouTube. I reckon not. How do these folks do that? That sucks. Okay, well, what I want to talk about today. So I'm involved in the Steam Flag Awards project, and it's been a lot of developments, things going on, a lot more eyes on, a lot more scrutiny. And I try my best to roll with it. I hate politics. I don't like getting involved in politics, but it's kind of inevitable. Something I got to deal with on the regular. So anyways, there's been a lot of that controversy. So let's say, like, on Steam, kind of give you the spiel is, so you have an idea, you have stake weighted voting. So if you have a lot of money on the platform, you can create a post and boost it up with your self voting, or if you have liquid Steam or SPD, you can use bid bots. And so what we've been noticing, and it's been ongoing, is this trend of bid bot abuse. So with hard fork 20 on the blockchain, there's been a lot of not as much high frequency spam, but more of like, let me post some bullshit and vote it up to like $100 using bots. And these bots suddenly boast like, oh, you get ROI, maybe like 10% on top of that. So basically, they're printing money, something like that. So what we do is we have people, they have stake, and they're like, I don't like seeing that. We don't want this platform to go that direction, because other people are going to look and be like, what is this? And so what we do is we leverage the flags. And formerly, the flag was something that you don't get rewarded for. You're just sacrifice your voting power, which is something that recharges. So you get like 10 full votes a day. And so like my account, for instance, I basically can vote about 10 cents, 10 times a day, full power. So I got those 10 votes. I can go and flag something if I see something that's amiss. Like today, I found some plagiarism, and I flagged it down from 4 cents to 0 cents. And that normally, traditionally, that's not something you get natively rewarded for on the blockchain, but it's something that's necessary. Like other social media platforms, they have centralized methods of moderation that you know they're centralized, they're cooked in, but and this is a blockchain, it's decentralized, so we need to have an approach where the community is, how we put it, vigilant, and doesn't let too much spam get by. I mean, in an ideal world, we wouldn't want any spam to get by, but it's just not, it's not realistic. There's just so much activity on the blockchain that any one person can't do it. But if we all work together, then we make the prospect of profit from this bullshit to be null. And that's the general idea. And more of that, people are like, this spamming and shit posting and plagiarism, it's a risky proposition. And that's what we want to, we want to increase in our influence and our power and our ability to make it happen. And that's what we're working on. But again, we'll get pushback. The abusers are not too happy. I've been getting trolled a little bit, and I'm too damn nice sometimes. I try to back and forth, and like I could be doing something more profitable. I could be developing, and I have I'm not a one-trick pony. I have other things planned. It's not just Steam Flag Awards. I have other stuff. I'll kind of hint at something I'm going to be working on. I don't want to hint too much because I don't know, people try to steal ideas or whatnot. I don't even put my tinfoil hat on. But what I plan on working on is a video game that has to do with crypto. And let's just say it's a mashup of different technologies. We got 3D printing, RFID, and a few other things. Another thing that I have on, I guess, an idea. And I got so many damn ideas. I can conceptualize these things all day. It's just like, how do we make it happen? I know, like, with me, I work a full-time job, and it's pretty demanding, pretty rigorous. I come home, my brain is, it's like, my brain power is spent. I just want to, have a beer, chill out, watch TV, and kind of like decompress. But I want to make progress. I want to earn my freedom eventually from working for the man, and want to do my own thing. I want to build something that's useful for people. I don't want to be the kind of like snake oil salesmen that are out there peddling to something that enriches the few for the expense of the many. And yes, that's how I feel about bid bots. I don't think it's helpful for the platform, but the people that are enriched by it, they're not going to stop. Why we're not going to get that goose that lays the golden egg when you have it and you're making money. But again, we're seeing the price of Steam bleed a little bit. Now, is it just going along with the crypto trends? And I see a lot of stuff in the red. And I was fortunate enough to get in somewhere around 2016 with most of my holdings, but we're reaching the fulcrum, the point where my break-even point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the last time I bought, for instance, Ethereum, it was somewhere around 300. Bitcoin, I think I got somewhere around a half, but I was making some buy orders up past the 10,000. So I need to do some averaging to see, like, hey, am I up? Am I down? Do I think that blockchain is done? Crypto is done? There's a lot of scams out there, but I think the technology has a lot of potential, and I'm fascinated by it. And as someone that can script a little bit, code a little bit, I'm exploring what I can offer, what utility I can offer people, and that's my thing. Like I want to help people, but at the same time, yeah, I want to make some money. I want to earn my freedom from the 9 to 5 grind, and I think if I'm creative enough, I can come up with something and make it happen. And again, yeah, like the crypto RPG game, I think that's something that has some potential. Again, I don't want to say too much, but I do want to get some people involved. I probably need to play my cards right, do like a non-disclosure agreement, so people can like, oh, that's a damn good idea, and freaking run off and create something like it. And bear in mind, I've been thinking about this thing way before Steam Monsters was a thing. I don't even want to get into how I feel about Steam Monsters. Leave that alone. Leave that be. But yeah, I have that. And then yesterday I got in I came across No Names Left to use his blog post that I thought was really it was well thought out, well written, and he did touch on this topic about embedding ads in posts. And I was at that moment I got kind of like the light bulb. I'm like, I think I know how that could work realistically, not be gamed. I mean, I think if someone's persistent enough, it could be gamed, it could be abused. But if you have enough of, I guess, sophistication behind it, I think they're going to make it, I guess, a lot of work. And we want to make it as much work as possible. And being a IT security professional, it makes me think of like multi-layered defense in depth. It was another thing y'all probably don't know about me is I'm a CISSP, Certified Information Securities System Professional. Did I get that right? ISC squared. Anyways, I got that probably way back in 2017, 2016, and it was a bitch of a cert to get. We're talking about, was it test like 5 hours? I think it was a 5-hour test, and me, I was so paranoid that maybe I wouldn't pass after paying $600. So I spent damn near that whole 5 hours going through my questions, going over again and again and again. And yeah, I got it. And that's one of the things that helped me get where I am in my job career, system engineer. So, and also I'm learning a lot more about Steam has been the catalyst that that's why I learned Python. That's why I'm getting into Django, web development. I'm the kind of my job it entails like sustaining systems that are already created, already designed, already developed. Not so much building things from the ground up. I'm a sustainment engineer, and that's my trade. But I want to branch out into development. I know I have a little bit of understanding of like your software development life cycle. You go through that stuff in the CISSP. It was not my favorite chapter domain to go over because it's pretty damn boring. But I think the more I embark in this open source Steam Flag Awards and other things, I kind of understand how the pieces fit together. And that reminds me of like when I was in the Marines, learning system side, networking side. At first, all the things were like kind of discombobulated, and I didn't understand like holistically. And it took me a minute, and then eventually it was like the light bulb came on, and I kind of the analogy is like network convergence. Like when you have your dynamic routing protocol, they're learning the network. They may not be routing ideally, but eventually they start getting like the best paths. I don't know which routing protocol I want to refer to, EIGRP or something like that. Anyways, I'm getting too down in the weeds, but yeah, the knowledge kind of converged, and I figured out like, gosh darn it, I'm thinking of that aliens meme. I'm thinking about how the bigger picture, yeah, essentially. So I think the same thing would probably happen with me when I learn, I get more deeper into software development, how these processes, like, I don't think we're going through doing waterfall. I'm not really, our process is real ad hoc right now. We got our repository out there, people put in pull requests. I just finally made the decision, hey, let's separate production from the master. And more to come. My colleague Flugsween going to be setting things up where we have a config file with configurable values, and the code will be like agnostic of specific configurations. So, like, for instance, someone wants to take this code and run with it, do their own thing, do their own Steam Flag Awards. More power to them; they can do it. And honestly, hey, by all means, we can do it, because I get tired sometimes, and we need more people out there flagging. So if you have voting power or Steam power to incentivize it, do it. I'm still working on other stuff, other moderation things, and I guess it kind of brings me to, like, all right, the open source. I want to get paid for my work. But at the same time, I want to help empower other people. So, like, what portion of what I do I want to keep proprietary and not share, versus what do I want to have out there for people to use? I guess that's going to be on the scope of what I want to talk about on the stream. Yeah, I'm pretty much all over the place. I'm just me. I want to maybe just get help people get to know who I am. And with that, talk about my history, my past. So, growing up, I've had a little bit of a dichotomy of experiences. And let's say I lived kind of affluent, and then I lived in the hood, the ghetto, after our family went through a little bit of a crisis. So, long story short, my dad was a doctor, OBGYN, and family practitioner. And, he had his vices, and eventually, kind of came a way I describe it is he was living like trying to live like a rock star. And, he got, him and his friends kind of got hooked on this, was it Dilaudid, synthetic heroin. And eventually he got popped. And that's when everything started to unravel. Things started to unravel with our lives. We're living in a van for a little bit. Moved to San Antonio with my grandparents. I was moving around schools a lot. But, hey, Lindsay. So, I was moving around schools a lot. Things were chaotic. It was a very dark time in my life. I went through kind of like my self-destructive, death metal. I did dabbled in different drugs, and I'm not going to go into that. And that was before the Marine Corps. A lot of people look back and is like, I don't know how you freaking made it, or I don't know why you're not out there, homeless, like my cousin. But something happened. First of all, the Marine Corps kind of slapped some sense into me, discipline, and all that jazz. And then I had kind of harrowing experience with my going through the Marines, my relationship there, deployment. Then I kind of had a spiritual realization that wasn't something that I done figured on my own. I do believe in the God of the Bible and sovereign grace. And there's some like metaphysics there that kind of that's more down in the weeds. I'm a determinist, and I think that there's like this switch in our brains, the one or the zero, this supernatural bit where we're in this rat race to find our own righteousness, or we're relying on the righteousness of another person. So like kind of the end result of that is it was a humbling. I used to be so egocentric, and I used to think like the Bible was just nothing but propaganda to control the weak masses. And I don't know, I just kind of pulled a 180, and I came across I don't know exactly when that supernatural bit was changed, but I got some of my friends on Facebook. They were interacting with me, helping me. Actually, I want to bring up this post. I think it's pretty damn funny. This guy he tagged me. So his name is James Guyo, and all right, let's see here. It's pretty damn funny. So I mentioned to him, like, I got a kick out of this God of the fidget spinners sermon I listened to him. He was saying, our God is not a God of fidget spinners. Oh, God, I have too many notifications. I can't find it. Somewhere in there. Our God isn't bored. He's not looking for something to do. He's got everything set. It's going exactly according to plan. There's no like human free will. I know, yeah, controversial. That can frustrate his plans. His nothing gonna steal his glory. All right. He's in absolute control, absolute sovereign. And you got all kinds of like self-righteous religions out there, right? You got to do this. You got to have your checklist of, hey, do's and don'ts. And if you do this thing, oh, you're going to hell. Sorry. All right. Yeah, it's going to be tough to find this one. But I am referring to a religion of liberation, of freedom. I can, how do I put it? I can follow, walk by the Spirit, and my law is love. First of all, I follow the golden rule. All right, is there a way to look for tags? I'm way back in September. As I said, I'm going to be all over the place. It is what it is. Oh, there we go. Got it. Actually, I wanted to write a post about this. Okay, so here it is. Things that will not be found in God's house. A medicine cabinet with painkillers for migraine headaches because you just drive him nuts and he does not know what to do with you anymore. Number 2, fidget spinners. God is not under stress because his creation is going crazy. He has ordained all things, and that soever comes to pass, nothing is out of his control. Yeah, so anything that happens to me, good or bad, I know that he's in control, and I know the end state. I know that I am covered by his righteousness, his blood, and I don't have to worry about I don't have to worry about my final destination. So that's a relief. And to anybody that understands that, about this imputed righteousness thing, they don't have anything to worry about. Okay. And also it's comforting because, like, let's say I think of it like something bad happens in my life. There was a purpose behind it. Like, let's say, whatever, I apply for this job that I really wanted and I don't get it. Instead of being like sulking, and I might, I'm still human. I still may like get upset. I still get upset about things. But when I really sit down and think about it and meditate about it, I know that, maybe I was meant to be over here as opposed to being over there. And that's it. Okay, number 3, sleeping pills. God does not sleep nor slumber, and he has nothing that he has failed to solve. He is always at peace with himself. He does not need to sleep to rest, for he is the Almighty. He does not recharge his batteries like you and I. Number 4, a fire marshal. There is no fire department in heaven to put out emergency fires in our lives because there is nothing called an emergency situation for God. He does what he pleases on earth and in the army of heaven, and no one can say, "What are you doing?" And I think I can allude to, is it Romans 9? Yep, I can. Yes, ma'am. Am I almost done? All right. Yeah, give me a minute. Let me just go through this post right here. And so one of the controversial topics, I guess, well, it's not exclusive to sovereign grace theology, but also Calvinism, is predestination, the fact that God has chosen some people to, what's the right word, to receive grace, and then others to receive their just penalty. And I think a way to like, so people, they're just like, oh, it's not fair. Everyone deserves, to go to heaven, and that's where you get like Unitarian Universalists and things like that. But I like to think of it in terms of exclusivity and how something is precious when it's exclusive or more rare. So like, let's say if you have someone that just like, I think of the right way to put it, has the same kind of love for everyone. They're like promiscuous kind of love, right? They're It's not special anymore, and it's become a common thing. And with Christ and His blood, it's not a common thing. It's a special gift, and it's for a few people. So then you have this kind of like, you can compare. You have a reference point, the good and the bad. And I'm stumbling over my words, sorry, but who can say? No, yeah, I lost it. All right, let's get back to the post. Anyways, all right, no suggestion box. God is on the business of improving his customer service. His ways are perfect before him. Who has known the mind of the Lord, and who should instruct him? For of him and through him and to him are all things. To him be the glory forever. God is not looking for better ideas to govern his creation, especially coming from us. Oh, circle back around on that last thought I had. Let's think about exclusivity again. Let's say you have friends and it's their birthday, like, and you're getting them gifts. Like, if you get the same person, like the same, or if you get everybody the same gift, it's like not special. There's nothing personal about it. So that's another way to think about it. If I get, someone the same Hallmark card and has the same, copy paste text, that's, it loses its novelty. All right, number 6, a box of Kleenex tissues. God is not shedding tears and feeling sorry that things are not the way you like. To him, everything is going the way he wants it to go. And surely he is not weeping that people are denying the truth of his son, because to this end they are appointed. There we go. 7, there is no free willer in heaven. Everyone who is in heaven knows they got there by grace alone. And this is free. So the gift of God, it's free. If you got something, it's a gift. You didn't purchase it. I guess you kind of equate that to like being rewarded by the votes of the bid bot. That's not really a reward because you're paying for it. Same way, you can't by obedience and by strict adherence to moral precepts earn your way into heaven. When you put your goodness, your righteousness, your virtue, your human virtue and whatnot, next to what Christ has done and expect by the work of your hands that it'll be accepted. You kind of think like Abel and Cain. You know, Cain, he brought something from the earth, his own hands, the plant, whereas Abel brought the sacrifice, which is, you know, a symbol of the Messiah, the perfect, the Lamb without blemish, and all. You know, that's the idea right there. A lot of people don't understand all the Old Testament pictures like that. Same thing like Abraham and Isaac. But yeah, so like, go to your activity log. Oh boy. Alrighty. That's where I need to go. Yeah, I really wish I could have got that VTube thing working. It's a bummer. Okay, that's cool. I'm not sure if I'm looking at the right thing, Lindsay. Okay, yeah, this live stream, it was about Barbacoa. The verdict is it was Big Red. Big Red's the winner. Yes, I got a little bit of my history and theology, my underlying ideology, and that is, I guess that's a wrap. I will be having a Q&A session for Steam Flag Awards. I've been, like I said, I've been getting pushback. I've been getting trolls. Thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna try to do this sort of thing more often. We need to get the word of Steam out there to the YouTube lands. So I see you doing that, Lindsay. So I'm gonna try to follow suit. And yeah, with that, I'm gonna go ahead and end this. And I know I got some flag award campaigns, and I do have a script that I think is gonna help me a lot immensely with that to pay out. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got. I hope everybody has a good day. Well, my one viewer, I don't know who's watching me from Steam, but yeah, thanks a lot. All right, y'all take care now.